I'm Karen from NME, and I'm in Naarm, Melbourne for Rising Festival, and I'm here with Tkay Maidza.
Hi.
Tkay, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm so excited for tonight.
Yeah, we're sitting in the green room of the Forum Melbourne. We're about to play, I believe, your largest headline show in Melbourne.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
Oddly, I feel very relaxed. If anything, I have a stomachache, but but I'm really excited for tonight. I feel like I've played so many shows in the last few months, so it's almost like just second skin for me, if anything. So I think it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be sweet. It's gonna be beautiful.
Like you've slipped into this performer mode for a while and you haven't gotten out of it.
Yeah, I haven't gotten out of it. It's just kind of like instincts, if anything. Now it's either traveling and doing random things or playing shows most of the time, so it's been really nice.
I think a few days before, you played Sydney, and you played the Sydney Opera House, which is epic, and I think these are your first Australian shows in like 4 years.
Yeah.
So like of those 4 years, we know what happened to 2 years, but like
Right.
what about the other two, and like why has it been so long since you performed in Australia?
I felt like just after I finished my album, I was playing way too many shows in Australia, but it wasn't like my profile wasn't growing, and so it just felt like I was overexposed. So we kind of just made the choice to not play shows unless it's like an important or like good opportunity, and spend that time just like redeveloping myself. And that's when I started Last Year Was Weird. So I feel like the last time I played, it was for the Flexin tour, which is the first EP, and I forgot what venue it was, but it was like 200 cap. Like that's how big it was. So it's incredible to come back 4 years later at the Forum. Like, what?
Yeah, if I'm not wrong, the Forum is 2,000 cap.
Right.
So that's like
100%. Oh no, is it
10 times?
Yeah, it's like
that's epic.
1,000% growth.
So in that period of like heavy touring, like were you on the verge of like burning out at that point?
I didn't feel burnt out, but it was just kind of like, where do I go next, and how do I make the next big leap? And I think realistically, if you're basically rebranding yourself, you should expect to go down before you go up again, because you're kind of like redefining your demographic, and you're basically starting all over again.
And I imagine that, like, I guess in the pop world, there's so much emphasis on like different eras and rebranding yourself,
Right.
like ever so often. And like, that whole idea that sometimes you need to go down before you go up.
Yeah.
Like maybe some artists like need time to respond to that reality. That
Yeah,
you got to go
totally.
down for a little bit.
Yeah, and I think for some reason in that moment I was like, I don't really have anything to lose. So if I have the opportunity to keep making projects, then I should just do that and do what I really love. And that was kind of if I had a song with JPEG, I'm like, wow, that's insane. Have a new song, and then Baby Tate's on it. So it just felt like every next step was better than the last, and that's what I was focusing on, as opposed to being like, all right, where's the next big song, next big single? It was just more so, is this in line with the story that I want to tell?
And like look at those small wins and just be
Yeah.
like, look, it's growing, right?
Yeah, and I felt like it was like this new era. It's more accepted by my peers and artists that I really look up to, and it's aligning with my taste. It's aligned with my taste of music. I can go on Spotify and I'll be like, all right, this radio I'm listening to, and then my song comes on, and I'm like, ah.
So it's almost like hearing your song on the radio.
Right?
Like,
Yeah, I'll be like, oh, let's listen to Naarm. It's me again.
You said that this era that you're in seems to resonate more with some of your peers and the people that you respect. So who are some of these artists that you maybe never expected to be listening to your music, or to be impressed by your music?
I mean, it's really cool to have JPEG, Carifo, Young Baby Tate, and then people like Ash Nico, even having Billie Eilish have me on her tour, and Charlie XCX, and it goes all the way to just like random actors, or I don't know, it's just like you look in the crowd and you're kind of like, I want to be friends with you guys.
And speaking of the Billie Eilish tour, epic, you did 2 nights with her in the US?
I did 6.
Oh, 6.
Yeah.
Oh, I was looking at the wrong tour poster.
Yeah.
But 6 nights, that's huge.
Yeah, it was insane.
What was that experience like?
It was surreal. I feel like when you're in big venues, you're looking at everything and like one thing, and it just felt like it went by really quick. It just was so well organized, and it was very euphoric. Like I just no complaints every day. I was like, that was nice. You know, it was like not even just nice. It was like that was insane. And then watching her play after, I'm in awe, and she's so inspiring. So it was unbelievable, honestly.
I know that you managed to meet and like take a photo, but like, did you get to talk to each other about music? And
Yeah,
stuff?
I mean, I've known her for years actually. So a lot of people are always like, "Oh, this is so random." I'm like, if you're my friend, then you know it's not that random because she was following me before I even knew about her.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I was like, wait. Yeah, so it's been this like long coming thing that was almost full circle, and her drummer is my old US drummer as well.
Amazing.
Yeah, so there's so many like little intertwined things. It was almost like saying, "Hey bestie, what's up? Nice to see you again."
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, Billie has great taste in music, so I mean,
She
it's no
does.
surprise that she was following you.
She does. I remember her telling me that she liked lullabies from my first EP, and I was like, "That's such a deep cut of the last year's." That was the first EP as well, so I was just like, "What? That's so insane." Especially being in that situation where you feel like your crowd's disappearing, but then new people coming in, but then to have artists like her to be like, I love this, it's like, you get it.
Yeah. And it just goes to show that sometimes like you don't know who's listening as well.
Right, you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know. I think a lot of people listen to music and they quietly just sit there and they're like, I like this. And then when more people gravitate towards artists, that's when, you know, it's like a domino effect kind of thing. More people start coming in and they're like, oh, I've always liked this. And you're like, what? Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. And besides, you know, playing with Billie, you also supported Amine and Flume, Australia's very own. So what has it been like? You know, obviously Amine and Flume and Billie all have very different types of shows.
Yeah.
And so I guess those tours must have been very different. So what was it like to kind of jump from tour to tour like that this year?
It was exciting because I think it's cool to know that you're being exposed to so many different types of people. And I feel like all of those acts have a very loyal fan base and they're very kind and respectful. And they also want to have a good time. And I think you can kind of hear that if you think of those artists as well. It's very like emotional music, but it's also hard hitting and it's bright and euphoric. So I think it's either way, it'll be a different demographic, whether it's like an electronic group or like just a more rap focused group or more pop. Everyone's there. If the song has impact, then they'll react. And that's what's been the cool thing, to just know that I can stand up and, you know, hold my own as a support act. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And this year you're also going to be performing at festivals across the US and Europe, so are you excited for festival season?
I'm so excited. I mean, Pitchfork Fest, iconic.
It's a great festival.
Yeah, and like Puku Pop, insane. And I don't know, I'm just excited to go everywhere in the world.
Are you announcing any more dates, any more festivals that people should be keeping an eye out for?
There'll be some shows here and there. I feel like being on ground in America, it's a great opportunity because there's that whole like, are you around? We need you in like 3 days. That tends to happen quite a lot, or like next week. So yeah, there'll probably definitely be more shows.
I mean, that was basically what the Billie tour was like, right?
Yeah,
like,
it was like
super last
it was
minute.
the day before.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like you get a call like tomorrow, Billie
Yeah.
Eilish?
No, they said I had to fly out that evening. The flight was like it's 3 hour flight, but if you go to the East Coast, you lose an extra 3 hours. So yeah, they said I had to leave that evening, and I was like, I have no clothes, but okay.
In the 4 years that since you last played Australia, you kind of started and ended, the last year was Weird Trilogy.
Yeah.
So now that this era is kind of in your rearview mirror, like, how do you feel looking back on it now?
It's honestly been such a life-changing experience, and that's what I wanted it to be. I mean, I had this whole list of just all the things that I wanted to do, and doing an arena tour was on my but like it was literally there. It was do festivals, do an arena tour, move to America, release music videos that really reflect my mind, just redesign your life and become this, like, I used to draw pictures of what I imagined myself looking like if I was like fully aligned with my goals, and I'm like, I literally became this person, and it's unbelievable because it takes a lot of strength and determination, and I feel like now being at the beginning of my album, I'm just kind of like, wow, little Tkay was really strong, and she kind of just went for it. And yeah, it's honestly, I'm lost for words most of the time. I just cry, honestly. I'm just like, it was so nice. It's been so nice. Learned a lot of lessons. I feel like I've grown up.
I mean, like, I think anyone who listens to those 3 EPs and like watches any of the videos just knows like it's impossible not to see the amount of hard work that went into that.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is I had so much fun doing it. It did not feel like hard work. A lot of it was almost like, oh my God, what if I made a house song that was smooth and euphoric? And I did it, and I was so excited making it, and it didn't even feel like work. It was so fun. Like, this whole thing was fun. I think it was because I just trusted my taste and also had that perspective of I have nothing to lose. If it goes well, it goes well. If it doesn't, you just try again.
Yeah, you mentioned that you're kind of at the start of this process for your album. So can you give us any updates? How's that going?
It's coming along. I haven't been doing a lot of sessions just because I've been touring so much. But I'm going to get back in July and really get back into that. I feel like I've spent most of this year doing like songs for, I don't know, like corporate stuff.
Yeah, like you've been doing some collaborations as well.
Yeah,
right?
a lot of collaborations and just like little cool things that I can't say yet, but I'm so excited about it.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
So last year you were one of the cover stars of Enemy Australia, which was amazing and an honor to have you on it. And in that interview, you said that, you know, whatever music you make, it's always going to be left of center. It's always kind of going to be a little bit different. It's always going to be something people don't expect. So where are you going left of this time for this album?
It's more or less the same blueprint as Last Year Was Weird. Okay. I feel like I've really found my niche, and it's like there's 4 different worlds that I sit in. So it's almost expanding on that, and there's so much, it's so endless. Like I feel like you can never stop, which is really exciting, and there's a sense of direction.
Amazing. Tkay, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
I'm super excited to see you play the Forum. I'm sure you're going to kill it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.